Welcome to this UFC Fight Night Whittaker versus Derrida review. Straight into the first. I'm normally going straight into the main card, but just going on to a fight, the main fight of the prelims, Said Nurmagomedov versus Bryce Mitchell. Obviously, a huge fight to be on the prelims, which I didn't think it would be. I thought it'd be on the main card, but it was put as the feature on the prelims. So, look, it was a great fight. Getting into round one, I thought Said Nurmagomedov got the 10-9 in this round. So Mitchell, quite early on, got a good combo off, but counters. Said Nurmagomedov counters and drops Mitchell quite early, which basically gave him the round in that round one. Round two, Bryce gets the takedown, switches it up really, trying to isolate the arm to try and get an arm bar, I think, or tries to go for an arm triangle straight after. And then side control from Bryce. Said manages to spin and get up, but really the whole round was Bryce being on top and trying to get a choke or a couple shots off. All really came down to round three after that point. Said Nurmagomedov gets on top from a grapple exchange, which was really good. Bryce managed to do a good reversal to get back on top, which was very, very key. Bryce in half guard, looking at a arm triangle at this third round as well. They get up, but Bryce gets the back, battling the hands, and really controlled the rest of the round. And I think that was the key. Bryce just controlled the fight, got it to the ground, and when he did, he won the round. When that happened, he got dropped, but he got back up. The key thing is, look, if you're getting dropped at this weight now, it's tough. I think against better fighters or more experienced fighters, he will lose. And the fact he can just take him down and keep him to the ground and control the round over a 3-round fight, and I don't think it looks good for Bryce in the future for exciting fights that people want to watch and people want to watch Bryce fight in the future. I think it's going to be a struggle to sell after this fight. But look, he's had enough controversy outside the cage to probably make people want to see him lose, which is key. But Said Nurmagomedov, look, massive holes in the game when Bryce is good. Bryce is looking to get you on the ground and keep you there, but massive holes in the game if you want to be a top contender. And just showed look, he's had a lack of experience in the cage, and look, he's been out for a while. He hasn't been very active, and it's a key problem when you go against a Bryce Mitchell who's day in day out constantly training, no matter what. So look, training and experience gets him the win, 29-28. I had it, and very boring fight from Bryce, but gets the win, key for the UFC. But look, Bryce has stuff outside the UFC causing controversy, which likely will fade. I think for the last couple of fights people want to see him lose, but that soon fades. So what is going to make people want to see Bryce in the future is going to be tough, I think, because that may be a win, but in the fans' eyes it is a loss because they're not going to buy a pay-per-view for your name on anywhere near a main card. So look, that's a problem for another day. Got the UD decision, 29-28 as well, as per what I thought, scoring exactly the same by the judges as I had, and Bryce Mitchell gets a win. On to the next fight, Guskrov versus Krylov. A quick fight, good body shot from Guskrov, early good straight right, and really just controlled the fight. Another good right, and look, the straight rights were money. Straight off the bat, they were hurting Krylov and got him down, got the TKO round one, showed how good he is, how much better than some of these other fighters that coming in against him are. Not much to say, when you're losing against a straight right all day long in round one, there's a concern how you're going to cope with any sort of prospect coming into the UFC. Look, he's got to show something a lot better in the next fight to really keep a place in the UFC, I think, because getting beaten like that with just pure straight rights coming in and out, three connecting over that round, and the third one basically gets you down. There's a lot to prove, really. good striker, power striker, but look, it's tough loss to take, really, because that will really put him on notice to have to win his next fight. Next fight, Almabayev versus Ochoa. Obviously a good fight, Almabayev getting the win. I also thought he got the win. I thought he got it 30-27, which 2 judges agreed with. One was 29-28, but a UD decision nonetheless. A good fight, look, got it where he needed to get the fight, which was on the ground. Clearly, Ochoa wanted to keep it on the feet. Almabayev, great on the ground. Did very well. Again, a fight where you go, well, how many people, no matter how high up you get with the same game plan, are really going to buy your fights? Because Ochoa, I would say, is going to sell more fights than you are, no matter where if you both are in the UFC. No matter what, people are going to want to see Ochoa more than they are Almabayev. Ochoa throwing hard early. Almabayev gets the takedown. Ochoa, look, how much he's going to win without a takedown defense. That can stop Almabayev, because as soon as he goes up in any rankings, he's going to face someone of similar caliber on the ground. It's going to be very difficult. He needs to improve that. Almabayev, look, you can keep control of a person and take them down every round and try to get something done. But when you're taking people down and really just keeping them in guard, not really doing much, not going for really anything of note, and there's nothing really that completely gets in. And Ochoa is really the person who's looking to end the fight with shots or even a guillotine choke in round 3. Almabayev got a couple elbows down in round 3, got a couple shots off, but really nothing was there to end the fight. It's just concerning. It's concerning for these guys again, the lower ends of the UFC. Below at least the top 5, top 10. When you're top 10, top 5, you've got to be selling pay-per-views. You've got to be selling this to your fight to people. And look, you can win, and no one can doubt you can win at Almabayev, but the key thing is people need to want to see you. And Almabayev doesn't sell that to me. He doesn't sell a fight to me. I want to see his next fight against another striker that is going to try and throw shots and he's going to take them down and keep them down. No, I don't. I think Ochoa had moments in there that were good. The guillotine choke, the knee, as Almabayev coming in at one point. But I think it's just Almabayev won quite clearly, but by control and nothing much else. So, look, before you go up the rankings, you're going to get beaten, I think, without developing a ability to finish on the ground. Against an Ochoa, you've got him down 3 times. You've not put anything really in place to get him finished. It's a concern. But also the concern is you get someone who actually manages to keep getting the takedowns, keep the control, and winning against very good pay-per-view fighters, because then he'll start getting to the spotlight. And from a business point of view, from the UFC, what do you do is the key. And this is always part of the problem with a MMA model compared to a boxing model. Boxing, you'd have people who can't sell fights but they're winning, and it's sort of like they do get KOs here and there. Almabayev is not really doing much on the ground, and not really he's doing a bit, but he's not doing enough against the next level of fighters. Ochoa was throwing shots from their hip early to the point where the takedown's quite quick and quite easy, and he just allowed him to get in to get the takedown. So it's a bit of a problem for, I think, both. Ochoa's got to throw less in his shots. He's got to get a takedown defense as well, because against these guys you need to be winning, because in a sense your style is so much more marketable by a UFC model. look, Elmabayev will improve. I think Ochoa will improve, but just a concern with these guys where, the whole fight is just Ochoa trying to get up and getting a knee down the middle, but still getting taken down every second of every day and losing rounds. Ochoa has to improve because, again, if he can't stop takedowns, there is a certain limit on his ability to get up them rankings. Onto a really good fight, actually, funny enough, after these two, which I've just spoken about, Saad Nurmagomedov versus Barriault, a great fight. So, Shade Nurmagomedov, great first round. Barriault pressuring early, good leg kicks by Shara. Barriault goes for a takedown, gets a couple elbows on Shara, gets up. Barriault leg looks hurt already, so the first round was really leg kicks coming in from Shara, a takedown by Barriault, didn't really do much, got a couple of elbows in as he gets up, but that leg is already looking hurt round one. Round two, leg kicks by Shara. Bullet already has slowed the pressure of Barriault already. Elbow catches Barriault on the head, a lot of blood on the top of the head, so basically it's going to take a lot to trickle because it's literally his hairline at this point. So, but there's a hell of a lot of blood, and you see that if you rewatch the fight, you see this later when he's clinching with Shara. It's a lot. There's clearly a big gash there. Shara popping things off, really getting comfortable with, really loose now. Firing shots up, going, I've got this sort of thing. But then gets caught Barriault right on the nose by Barriault. Gets Shah Magomedov down and really big shot. Then Shara gets caught 3 or 4 times, nose badly damaged, could be broken at this point. Barriault in the clinch, getting punches off to the body, but the Shara comes back. Great round. I think Barriault gets that round. The good few punches after the straight that very badly damaged the nose. Great punch, great shots, and especially with his leg as bad as it was, and Shara starting to feel himself get loose in there and start firing off shots. Great shots by Barriault to come back, and shows how his toughness really develops against a very good fighter. Round 3, leg kicks again by Shara. Knee by Shara at Barriault, goes for a takedown. Barriault gets the clinch though, can keep it, so Shara's already going for a takedown here. Shara goes for a fly knee, but gets elbows off quite well in the clinch, so that's a key one. 2 more elbows by Shara. Combo by Shara as well, so really working, getting loose again, so that real shot in the last round hasn't really affected him. He's got back into it. Shara goes for a takedown, gets the clinch and knees to the head, drops Barriault late. Shara gets punches off and ground and pound, but it's too late. The round ends, and really a great finish, a really experienced finish is that you need to finish. If you're 1-1 into going into a third round, or whatever the final round is, if you're drawing in final round, you need to finish well. When he did, I had it 29-28 Shara. Actual decision was unanimous across the 3 judges of 30-27 Shara. UD. And look, fighting night definitely. I think harsh to give him 30-27, especially for that second round. But look, Shara worked out there like he was drawing, which is key. He knows when it's close. It could be either way for round 2, and he made it happen, and that will push him forward. Lost against MVP, but look, very tough fight on the feet for any fighter, let alone Shara Magomedov. So I think great fight, great win. And Barriault's a tough fight. He's a very good fighter, showed it in this fight as well, and that will only provide confidence for Shara and also for the UFC to put him in there against a tougher fight next. On to the co-main, Jan versus McGee. Jan did very well. I think it just showed a and I'll go quickly through this fight. I won't go really round by round, but Jan won every round. It showed an experienced fighter who still got it against a guy of McGee who is that slightly lower level than the top best. McGee had moments, McGee had punches off, but every round Jan was good enough and well experienced enough to win every round and try to get shots off. And as the fight went on, he just got better and better and better as he turned up the volume, as he turned up the pressure. It showed Jan is a better fighter. And Jan round 1 in McGee, in the sense of it, if you look at the timeline, round 1, from the start, McGee's actually doing better than Jan. But as it goes further in the fight, even from near the end of round 1, middle of round 1, Jan keeps turning up to see where he needs to be to win this. And by round 3, McGee is getting tuned up by Jan at points. And yeah, just overall a great Jan game. Overall ability, ground and striking. A great uppercut in round 2 by Jan. Cut left eye, which didn't help at all. Right hook counter by Jan as well. The hooks of Jan were money from round 2. They were hitting everything, and look, the eye cut definitely didn't help after round 2, because that every punch just started making that worse. And I would expect definitely that the vision of McGee, he's been outclassed already, let alone without an eye injury, and blood getting into that eye or around that eye, causing him some issues. So look, McGee stayed in there, but Jan, I think, got it 30-27. Actual decision was 29-28. But look, either way, Jan dominated no matter what. I think giving McGee 1 round in that is quite nice for him. It's a nice enough judge's decision there, but Jan, I think, won every round, was controlling the pace, getting in there, getting shots off, wobbling McGee well. And I think it's just... it might be round 1, because I think McGee wobbled him at some point near the end of round 1, so that could have gave it to him. But I think a very preferential judge's treatment of McGee if he did give round 1, because Jan did well in other points in that round, and 2 and 3 were definitely Jan. There was no ability for the judges to go either way on that one. It was definitely a Jan round. On to the main event, obviously Whittaker versus Derrida. I gave Whittaker round 1. Derrida gets a leg, tries to get the leg early, can't do it. Good knee by Derrida, so getting it off these, signature Derrida knees off early. Good left hook by Whittaker. Good knees again by Derrida, and this will continue throughout the fight. 1-2 by Whittaker near the end. The best thing that happened near the end of that round, Whittaker. So round 1, Whittaker. Round 2, I gave Derrida. Good uppercut by Whittaker to start it. 1-2 Whittaker. So really coming back into from round 1, being the pressure at the end of that round, doing well. Good couple jabs by Derrida. Good knee by Derrida, but then he comes back into it, and this is the key. Knees by RDR. And just really doing well. Early takedown right after, and keeps it there quite well. Controls it quite well. So 10-9 again. So 1-1 apiece. It going into round 3. Derrida pressuring, knees hurt, showing Whittaker showing clear pain from these knees in round 3. But Whittaker counters and dropped Derrida, so the power is still there. Doing well with that power. And nearly ends the fight, Whittaker, in that round 3. Derrida gets back up and does look fresher of the two fighters. Basically, Whittaker went to end it and couldn't, and that really does show, even for an experienced fighter of Whittaker's level and ability. It will sap your gas tank quite quickly trying to end the fight and not being able to. So Whittaker round 3. Round 4, knee early by Derrida. Derrida goes for a takedown, but Whittaker gets to throw a couple of shots to defend against that. Good right hook by Whittaker, good knee by Derrida, and Derrida good overhand shot. And I gave it Derrida. It was close enough in that round. I think Derrida won it enough. To be honest, I think there was enough shots in there by Derrida where Whittaker was looking more tired of the two. Round 5, so it all comes down to round 5. I think on everyone's scorecard, no matter how you sort of scored it, it was pretty close in all 4 rounds. There were certain points where he won this round, he won the next round. So it all came down to round 5. Derrida firing off shots in the clinch where he can early. Great takedown defense by Whittaker to keep it standing early. Look, I just said, look, there's 2 minutes to go. There's all of it to play for, and I think, look, 2 minutes to go. There's all of it to play for. One of them needs to go for it, and good knee by Whittaker good knee as Whittaker comes in for Derrida. 30 seconds all to play for. Still, I would say near the end around. Couple good shots by Whittaker. Can't really call it, but if I had to call it, I think Derrida just did enough with them knees and how painful it looked for Whittaker to take them knees, even in round 5, that he got the win. And look, it was a split decision, 48-47, Whittaker 48-47, Derrida twice, so got a split decision. If I had to call it, it would be 48-47, Derrida, but very, very close. But again, it always will be. Derrida going up towards a Whittaker who has been at a championship level for a good while, has done very incredibly well. And look, for Derrida to get the win, that's a great title shot he's got coming up, or up towards the title shot he's got coming up. Do I think he does well against the next level of opponent above Whittaker? No, I don't think he does. I think the striker is too laboured. I think against them bigger guys that are bigger than Whittaker, he will find trouble because he managed to keep distance with his range Derrida as Whittaker came in, so it kept him away from a couple shots. But he took a shot that dropped him. He nearly got ended in that fight. I think against that next level, he really has to improve before he goes to it. I hope he doesn't take a quick turnaround or quickish turnaround, because he has a lot to learn. He has to increase his ability on the feet, because it is really lacking. And against a guy that's similar size and similar reach to him, he will be found out quite quickly on the feet. A guy who can take down defense as good as Whittaker and has better basically physical attributes, a better reach similar to Derrida, with the stand-up game will find Derrida out. But look, great win. He has time now. He needs to go away. He needs to learn the stand-up game, get them shots a bit better. You know, his jab was pretty decent, but look, there's fundamental things that were sloppy that will get found out very quickly against a top striker with a good reach, similar to Derrida in that division. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I'd say Shara Magomedov versus Barriute was my fight, my best fight of the night, to be honest, to watch. Incredible fight. But let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know who you think Derrida should fight next, and I'll see you next time.